to disagree in a harmonious way. We need to get this town together. We need to unite ourselves as one for the betterment of our town. This I ask in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, if you have your cell phones, please make sure they're on silent. And I'm going to open the floor for public comments. This is the time for residents to share with the council any comments, concerns, and or complaints that they may have. Each speaker is asked to limit their time to 3 minutes. Please come to the podium and state your name for our record-keeping purposes. Your comments should be directed to the city council as a whole and should be related to city business. We ask that everyone remain civil and avoid profanity, threats, or personal attacks on individuals. If comments become disruptive, stray from city business, or violate these rules of decorum, I may pause or end the speaker's time so that we can continue with the meeting. The public comment period is reserved for members of the public. Council members cannot speak during public comment as public speakers, respond to comments made, or get into discussions on any public comments. Such discussions require an agenda item. So public comments at this time.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Kenneth Winkles, and I will address 2 items during my short 3 minutes. First, it is my belief that this City Council made an error in approving the second agenda item on your joint City Council EDC meeting. Your agenda item in motion used incorrect language. Please verify this with your city attorney. Both authorized the city manager to work with the EDC. Here is your agenda. I am a very stickler for black and white words, their meaning, and the intent of those words. The language did not say the assistant city manager. It didn't say the interim city manager or the city manager's designee. It said the city manager. So unless you take action from executive session to correct the egregious error you made at the May 28th meeting, you don't have a city manager to work with the EDC on their bylaws. The assistant city manager cannot do it because you authorized the city manager. Read the words you used, but I do seriously hope that you will reverse your decision from the May meeting and reinstate Mr. Lino to full city manager. As the director at the EDC for over 8 years, I had the privilege of serving under 3 separate city managers, Mr. Lino, Seth Sorensen, and Eric Honeyfield. And I can promise you, ladies and gentlemen, he's the best city manager we've had in the last 15 years, and he puts those 2 to shame. Yes, I am here to support Mr. Lino tonight. The council, in my opinion, does not realize what relationships you are about to demolish. You asked him to get better relationships with TxDOT. He did that. You asked him to get better legislative branch relationships, both Austin and Washington. He did that. You complained about items not being taken care of in a timely fashion, communications with the council, audits, on and on. Heck, when did you expect all of this to happen with the other items that he had on his plate? Remember, when Kelvin Ridgely left here, he took over most of that responsibility. So some might say, oh, no problem, guys, we'll build and continue those relationships. Exactly how long are you willing to wait for those relationships to be rebuilt? Another year or so? It will take 3 to 6 months to hire another city manager, and at least that long for that person to get a handle on what is going on in Pecos, Texas. In closing, I respectfully ask this council to consider reversing your May 28th decision when you came out of executive session concerning Mr. Lino. I thank you for your time and your dedication to rebuilding Pecos. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comments?
Hi, my name is John Pruitt. I'm here to talk about the railroad depot. That building is part of history in Pecos. It should not be torn down. It should be renovated and given to the museum, and the museum, railroad room and the museum should be moved to that building. It's very personal. My grandmother and grandfather met in that building. Very historical. Be a lot of people who wouldn't be here if they hadn't met in that building. He was a railroad conductor, and she was going to the Catholic Girls' School in Stanton on the railroad, and that's how they met. I want you to very seriously think about renovating that place and making it what it's supposed to be. And if you don't, some of you may not be on the council anymore next time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
My name's Hugh Watson. I've been here since 1952, and I'm here in support of Charles Leno. A councilman asked me to get with Charles Leno and get him active in the city, and I did. I invited him out to the country club, got him in the city, and it disappoints me now that they want to get rid of him. The work that he has done for this community, and I agree with Mr. Winkles, I was on the board with him. He got this economic development started, getting businesses in here. We got the ball rolling. We got Charles Leno, as he's working with all the entities that we got, all four of them. It was the two before, now to six, 2 to 6. Only time in history that we all work together. And we don't want to kill that. We got industries coming in here. I want to give you an example. We got that plant up there at Orla. Energy Transfer offered to give 40 employees $95,000 to $125,000 to buy a house, rent a house, move to Pecos. Not a one. They moved to Andrews. They moved to Kermit, they moved to Monahans, and they moved to Carlbed. Not a one. I've asked a lot of them that work for me, and why don't you move to Pecos? You like our cantaloupes, you like the rodeo, and you like the Mexican food. I don't like Pecos. This is what drives people away. The lady over there, her department's got it where we can walk safely in the streets. Same as the sheriff department. We got a lot going for us, and we're sitting here like a bunch of kids. That's why those people don't want to move here. We just destroy it. We have been blessed by the good Lord to give us what we got, and He's going to give us some more. Now, if we turn and fuss and fight like the children of Israel did, and Moses brought them out, they gripe. The good Lord's going to give them land of opportunity, all the things they need, housing, everything, and they still gripe. We had like little kids. When you're a kid, the Bible says, when you're a kid, child, you put away childish things. Let's put away all this stuff. Let's put all away the anger and the wrath and the malice that we got here. We're all one. We got to work this thing in together. The good Lord bless. If we don't do it, who knows? He may reject it. He may turn his back to us. He doesn't listen to the prayers of the unrighteous. He only listens to the prayers of those that obey Him. So I would appreciate it very highly if we keep this ball rolling and hard to keep this man back on where he's going so we can all work together. And I appreciate you letting me speak. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sir.
Hello, I'm Gail Box, and I support Charles Leno. I support what Ken Winkle said. I support what you said, my dear. We need to work together. And at the last meeting with the PEDC and the Pecos, that was terrible. That was an embarrassment. I just hope people from other towns did not look at that, and I do know some of them did. Most of the stuff that was discussed wasn't on the agenda. The agenda item was for us, the PEDC, and the City Council to be transparent, to work together. But it turned out to be mudslinging and name-calling and an embarrassment. So I'm sorry about that. I'm also here as a director on the Texas Rodeo Hall of Fame, and I agree with Mr. Pruitt. We've got to get that building fixed. I know it's on the agenda. It was on the agenda before. Nothing happened. We need to get it fixed. We're having our induction next Friday. You've all been invited. It's very nice. Very few people come, but it's a very nice induction ceremony. It's at 12 o'clock at noon. Dickey's Barbecue will feed us. This will be the second year that these people come and go, oh my goodness, that looks pretty bad. And we're just so blessed nobody was hurt. so blessed that Joe Keese and those that were in there were not hurt, but it's time to get it fixed and make it like it used to be. I do thank you for your time. I know what it's like to be on a board. I'm on several committees, and I thank you for your time. I just hope and pray you do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Dale.
Y'all are doing great. Thank you.
Any other public comments?
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Susana Navarro. Llegué aquí a la ciudad de Pecos, me reclutaron para hacer una repostera. La compañía CHH es una corporación que atiende a los empleados del petróleo. Entonces, bueno, yo estoy viviendo aquí en Pecos con la compañía y el año pasado empecé a buscar todos los servicios públicos que ofrece la ciudad para clases de inglés, para seguirme preparando, y pues necesito tener el 80% de inglés fluido. No lo conseguí en ninguna escuela aquí local. Hablé con Odessa College, con la principal de la high school que está aquí, que están haciendo, que está preciosa. Ella se comunicó conmigo, me dijo que una maestra me iba a llamar, me llamó y ella me dijo que me iba a conseguir otra persona, aunque sean públicas o privadas. Pero lo necesito porque tengo un contrato aquí en esta ciudad que es muy próspera, aquí en Pecos. Y esa es mi petición. Como yo, hay mucha gente también que necesita el idioma, y si yo tengo que tocar puerta y hacer publicidad para quien quiera registrarse para estos programas, pues yo lo puedo hacer como ciudadana naturalizada de aquí de los Estados Unidos. Y con la petición de Donald Trump, que tenemos que tener ahorita el idioma más de un 80% fluido. Y esa es mi petición. Y si esta petición se va elevando, pues yo prometo el 100% de mi capacidad intelectual para hacerlo y que sea un programa próspero. Esa es mi petición. ¿Ok? Gracias.
For translation purposes, she's looking for classes for English. She wants to. She's a naturalized citizen, and she's reached out to the high school, and they pointed some directions, and she wants to see if it can be developed. But there's a lot of people, there's prosperity, and she wants to be part of prosperity at Pecos. So that's my best interpretation of good Spanish to text message. Sorry.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council. My name is Lucas Chavez. I'm the GIS technician here at the city. And I wanted to say, as a member of this community for the past 25 years, seeing what transpired that past Tuesday, it really made me appreciate the opportunities we are being presented as a city that is being looked at for development, and need to make sure we are not getting in the way of ourselves as a community, because tearing each other down is not going to get us anywhere. Period. As a community, our job is to support local members, not point fingers and air out dirty laundry. In these past 6 months since I've been back, I've just seen attack from PBTISD to, what transpired this past Tuesday. That's just not, that's just not the image I want to be able to, Pecos isn't supposed to look like that. Members have to decide what side of the fence to sit on. Polarizing a community into you better side with me or else is not how a growing community improves, much less moves forward. And if we want to be men and women of our word, then our actions should speak for that. And that leads me to my point. I want to say I have found my why, and that is why within the past 6 months of being back at the city has given me my purpose of why I came back to Pecos. With my expertise at a second time, and that is thanks to the city staff. I can say I enjoy coming to work with the purpose, producing the best GIS this side of the Pecos, and I have the vision to support that with everybody on this staff. And I found my why. I hope everyone can feel this way about their work, because Pecos is a great community and deserves all that we can achieve working together and not tearing each other down. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, I'll close public comments. We will go on to our consent agenda. Item E1, approve the minutes of the May 28th, 2026 meeting, the June 9th, 2026 meeting, and the June 11th, 2026 city council meetings. Review the expenditure report and review the prison rape elimination act compliance reports for the Pecos Criminal Justice Center for 2024 and 2025.
Make a motion if there's no questions to approve the consent agenda item.
No, second.
I have a motion from Councilman Graham, a second from Councilman Arona to approve the consent agenda items. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries. At this time, we're going to go to F4. Discuss, consider authorizing the city manager to enter into a revised interlocal agreement pertaining to the Hidden Heroes Phase 3 and authorizing the city manager further to present said interlocal agreements to partner entities, including Reeves Regional Health, Reeves County, and Pecos Economic Development Corporation, and this agreement will supersede all previous Hidden Heroes related agreements. Strategic Goal 1, Sustainable Economic Development, Nicole Farini. And I do have a statement. I wish to express my regret at not being in attendance on the June 9th joint meeting with Town of Pecos City and Pecos Economic Development Corporation. I was on the phone in order to make comments, but unfortunately I lost cell service. I did continue to watch the meeting, and I was appalled to witness the unprofessional turn the meeting took. It had a dramatic effect on me and my husband, especially once Councilman Saldana took the opportunity to deflect his issue by bringing my husband's previous position into the conversation. There were few words spoken that evening and the next day as we tried to process the free-for-all that we witnessed. To the citizens of Pecos, I wish to apologize for the manner in which this meeting veered off the intent of the meeting. I believe what was demonstrated was a lack of respect for the executive director and the board of directors of the PEDC, our city staff, our fellow council members, and our citizens. The intent was to open a line of communication and transparency so we could work together. The points brought up during the meeting may be valid points, but the presentation was shocking. I believe that members of this council and directors of the PDC showed very little, if any, professionalism and decorum for a meeting of that level. And maybe the shock was what needed to get people's attention. But these actions did not show our best and caring side. You, as citizens, deserve better than grown men yelling at each other across the room. We have to remember that we, as council, work for the citizens of Pecos, and we must keep their best interest in mind when making decisions. The tone of our voices just as, or more important than, the words we speak. This agenda item F4 is not about PEDC bylaws or whether they are being followed. I have been told that discussion will be on a future agenda. This discussion is solely about Phase 3 townhomes interlocal agreement for the benefit of our first responders and our employees. That being said, tonight we will not yell, berate, accuse, or point fingers at anyone. It is my recommendation that Mr. Saldana abstain from any discussion and vote that has to do with any aspect of the Hidden Heroes Phase 3 project. It's been shown that he has a financial stake in the success of this project, and even though he may or may not have terminated that position, his discussion and vote is still tainted. This does not mean he cannot discuss or vote on any other phases of this project when they come up, as long as he is not hired in any aspect on those projects. And that applies to any of us on the council. If anyone does become involved, I hope the lessons have been learned and such relationships are brought out in the open. I believe we have a city attorney representative. Can you hear us? Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so if I feel that anyone's comments get out of control, I can have them removed from this meeting, or I can adjourn that meeting. Is that correct?
Yes, that would be correct, that's the
Okay.
chair.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we will discuss this item as civil adults without yelling, and we will have all discussions stick to the Phase 3 project and then the interlocal agreement. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor and Council. Nicole Alvarez-Farini, Assistant City Manager. It was my intention tonight, or the intention of staff, to bring forward an interlocal agreement for your approval. We have worked diligently over the last, myself, 4 or 5 weeks to bring the project itself into focus around Phase 3. Some of the previous agreements that were entered into referred other phases of the project, other properties. Lots of things have changed over the period of time since Hidden Heroes was conceived of. Unfortunately, after consultation with legal counsel, there are a number of concerns that remain around the structure of Hidden Heroes Phase 3 and how that will reflect on the interlocal agreement and the responsibilities of the town of Pecos City. So that being said, our legal counsel is online. It is my recommendation tonight, or my request to the city council, that you allow staff just a little more time to clarify the legal concerns that have been raised. They are extremely important to the success of a project that is intended to support our first responders and our critical public service workers. That is the public purpose. And in order to properly serve that public purpose, I request some additional time. We will bring this back to you when it is fully completed and reviewed by our legal counsel. Mr. Lino, did you want to add anything to that?
No, as we move through, we had these discussions this morning with Resin, and it was recommended that we handle this way. And what our objective is to have further communications and share with the Economic Development Corporation, the hospital, and the county, and make sure that their attorneys are in agreement with ours. And with the complexity of this program, I think it's time that we let the attorneys hash everything else and give us something back that is agreed upon before we do this, instead of us trying to. We did put together this agreement, and it's a very good agreement, but I think it's time that we let the attorneys tell us and give us some guidance. And if we get 4 attorneys agreeing on the same thing, then I think all of us would be happy with the outcome of that.
Nicole, what legal concerns or what changes are we looking at?
There are a number of concerns around a number of facets of the details of the project. I would prefer, rather than making a public statement legally, I would prefer to brief the council in executive session around those items under consultation with attorney, if we might. One thing I will say that I feel like should be said on the record is that we have been working diligently under the construction contract with Silver Fox Construction, and I want to note on the record and in public that Silver Fox Construction has been incredibly transparent and cooperative with us, and frankly is the sole reason that we have been able to move as far as we have on this project, and I just felt like that needed to be said on the record.
Much more of a delay is going to keep.
Sir, I think that depends on the agreement of the parties. As I mentioned, and we can discuss in detail in executive, there are a number of complexities around this project, not just in terms of, for example, procurement, moving through towards decision-making authority and spending authority during construction, and ultimately management authority and distribution of funds and closeout of the project at the back end. Those are the areas that we want to discuss. I would hate to give you a timeline and not be able to deliver on that timeline, but what I can say is that it is our intention to move this as quickly as we possibly can, because we understand that delaying the project has ramifications on the construction part of the project, and there are contracts in place for that, and so we're sensitive to that. and we want to move as quickly as possible, but I can't give you a date tonight.
Okay. Also, are the other entities aware already that we're gonna do an MOU?
Yes, sir.
I mean,
An interlocal agreement, yes, sir. And the intention ultimately, once the council is comfortable with the agreement in its entirety, I will be taking alongside the city manager the same agreement to the boards of all three other entities, the other two funding entities, and then the partner entity, which is the EDC.
So I talked to Linda McKinney yesterday, and she wasn't aware that we were gonna make changes. She's just expressing the need that, man, she needs this for her employees.
Yeah.
And so, but she wasn't, she said, I'm not sure, I don't know anything about this.
That's surprising to me, sir. It was my understanding that the other entities were well aware that we were working towards a new interlocal.
Maybe she delegated it to someone else then.
It's possible, sir. I will say one final thing. This is not an action that we take lightly. We understand the need, but we also understand that our responsibility, and when I say we, I'm talking about staff and specifically senior staff, we understand that our responsibility is to this organization and to protect it from legal liability and risk, and that includes the council. And so that is why we're asking for this time, so that we can make absolutely certain that we are covered in those ways.
Mayor, I'll make a motion that we table this item until further research is done and legal attorneys get together and hash out the language.
Second. Okay, I have a motion from Councilman Arona, a second from Councilwoman Trujillo to table item F4 until we get further legal consultation on it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. And Councilman Saldana, you did abstain, correct?
What?
You abstained?
Well, that's what they want.
The motion carries. Okay. So we will go to item F1, discuss, consider approval and adoption of the Pecos Police Department Policy Manual and Procedure Manual, Strategic Goal 2, Safe and Secure City. Lisa Tarango, Chief of Police.
Mayor, Council, Lisa Tarango, Chief of Police. As you probably can see before you, we have redone our entire policy manual. It has taken over a year to get to this point. It was a very big project. It's not only the manual for the police department, but it's for the Criminal Justice Center, for dispatch, as well as animal control. I would be glad to go through more than 800 pages with you tonight, but I'm not sure you want to be here that long. And so it has gone through different levels of approval, not only from Lexipol, the company that we partnered with to do it. It goes through attorneys. It goes through the city manager's office. The city manager, as well as the assistant city manager, have all helped in this process. Our city attorney has been involved, as well as the Lexipol attorneys. And I'm glad to say you will have a very robust policy that we can be able to utilize immediately. With that being done, our next phase of this is going to be accreditation for our agency. So part of the accreditation process is a fully robust policy manual. Some of these policies, I can tell you, have already been tried through the courts of law and have upheld. And so I'm really proud of the project and glad to get it to this point where we move forward with administering it out to our entire staff.
And are they going to have to be required to read it and give you a report on it at the end of the day?
So what's really nice about this system is, as a supervisor, you're allowed to divvy it out to whatever rank level or whatever structure level. They will have to go through kind of a little testing phase after they go through it. There's a checkbox that they acknowledge they've received it, they've read it, they've had training on it. So yes, kind of. Maybe not all 800 pages at once, and not all 800 will be for every
employee.
member. Yes, ma'am.
So this is the first time you've had a manual.
No, sir, it is not.
So is this a lot of changes to the one you currently have?
It is not, actually. It's real easy to hire in Lexipol and just, I'm going to take the Lexipol policy and that's it. for us. I'm grateful to say that the company saw our policy and said, wow, you got a really good policy. Why don't we see about integrating your agency's specific stuff into the Lexipol stuff? So maybe probably what extended, excuse me, the project was the integration, because we already had a really robust policy. I had done it myself when I first came in through Texas Police Chief Association. They provide you a template. They give you kind of a guideline to go by. And this next level was just to strengthen that up. You can see there's stuff in there on cybersecurity, AI, things that are modern and new to this generation of workers.
Yeah.
So do we want to do 800 pages tonight?
Sure.
We'll do
Short?
two per meeting.
Two per meeting, got it.
No other questions, Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve F1 as presented by our chief, Mr. Tarango.
I'll second.
I have a motion from Councilman Arona, a second from Councilman Saldana to approve the adoption of the Pecos Police Department Policy Manual and Procedure Manual. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries.
Thank you.
We'll go to item F2. Discuss, consider resolution 26-05-04R, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Calvary Construction for the train depot reconstruction, strategic goal 1, sustainable economic development. Heather Ramirez.
Mayor and council, in your packet, you'll see the same resolution we discussed at the last council meeting. And just to kind of recap briefly what this resolution does if approved tonight. One, it acknowledges the procurement exemption, that we don't have to do the competitive bidding for. There's two things in there. It's Calvary Construction Restoration is on a cooperative, it's on a co-op through TIPS and buy board, so we could use either one of those. And the other reason is because it's an emergency. The reason it's taken so long is it took a while trying to determine what the Union Pacific owed and what the city owed, which we've got that all figured out. The resolution will also allow the city manager to negotiate and execute the contracts up to $1,018,085. You will see the estimate in there is for a little over 831,000. But the reason we're asking in there is because that's the max our insurance will reimburse us. We don't really know what we'll find once until we start the project. I was asked at the last council meeting, the question was asked, what if the city decided to demolish instead of repair? So the insurance already gave the city a cash payment of $336,000. That payment belongs to the city if we decide to not repair the building. So any demolish costs would have to come out of that. So we won't get the $1 million. We won't get the $1 million.
If we demolish.
Yeah, we've already got a cash payment of $336. We would just use that to demo or not repair the building. The insurance company wouldn't ask for any of that money back, even if we didn't rebuild. And our insurance company also needs to know immediately whether the city's going to rebuild or demolish, because we'll have to update our filing with the subrogation. So, and then staff, we've kind of met, we were talking about this, staff does recommend that we repair and refurbish this building for a number of reasons, which I think some were spoken tonight. Another thing is it's located the train depot is located right next to the Pecos Museum, which also supports and helps protect our local history. We've been doing a lot of updates downtown, so repairing it, especially the visual of it, will help continue that culture we've been creating downtown. Another thing that the city is working on is we're working with the Texas Commission of Arts, trying to create a cultural district downtown. So historic preservation is one of those key factors. This would help us get that done. It'll also help develop tourism. I know Dorinda has a lot of artifacts inside the museum. There's an actual railroad room that has artifacts from the train depot. So after discussing with staff's recommendation is to move forward and repair the train depot.
What I wanted to hear, that we repair it and not demolish it. It is part of our history. I visited with Dorinda a lot, and I didn't know this. Pecos used to be along the Pecos River. The railroad people moved Pecos to where we are now. I didn't know that either. You know, so little things like that we got to preserve. You know, it's a history. It's Pecos history. So I'm glad that we're gonna refurbish it.
Yes, I guess it was that misinterpretation that we would get the million, but we wouldn't get the million if we did.
When did you say they would start?
He said they could probably relocate within a few weeks. He said 2, but once we gave him the green light, but that was at the last meeting. So I need to see, I'm assuming it would be about the same, but from the last meeting, he said he gave us 2 weeks to come and set up on site, and then he would give us an exact timeline.
Once they got.
Yeah, once they came and saw what they needed to do to set up.
Is it gonna be reconstructed to what it was like?
Yes.
Going exactly, I mean, as close as it was the original?
Yes, as close as it was to.
So we're not tearing it all down and rebuilding and
No, it's to repair what was.
just repair, okay.
Because that's what they do. Don't they restore?
Yeah, they're gonna restore it
Yeah,
too.
but that's what Calvary Construction does though. That's their expertise.
That is their expertise, and they were actually recommended and through TML as well.
I have a question. Who owns the train that's the little, what is it?
Caboose.
The caboose?
The city.
The city, I would like this project to move forward, but I want to get that caboose out of the corner. Let's take that caboose out of hidden. I would really like for it to be a focal piece. I think it's beautiful, and maybe we can restore it. It was a really nice place for photos, and people really enjoyed visiting it.
When it was sitting in the middle of the street.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be in the middle, but I just want it to come out. So I'm in favor of this, but let's get the caboose from the side of the building and let's make it.
All shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when it was in the middle
Yeah.
of the street.
We
It
would
looks
all
sad.
climb all over it.
Yeah, it's really sad where it is right now. So I'm in favor of this if we.
Couple of pieces of tracks, sit it on top of tracks, railroad tracks.
How much is it insurance covering exactly? What percentage?
So right now, on their filing, they're going to cover up to $1,018,085.
Okay, I was thinking that was the cost.
No, they're gonna cover up to that, so instead of having to bring that back to council, we're just asking for you to pass the resolution up to that amount.
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion from Councilman Graham, a second from Councilman Arona to approve Resolution 26-05-04R as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries.
Thank you.
Go to item F3. Discuss, consider a plat request for the property addressed at 2400 South Arizona Street, legally described as lots 1 and 2, Block 4, West Airport, city land west of the hospital in the town of Pecos City. Strategic Goal 1, Sustainable Economic Development. Nicole.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Nicole Farini, Assistant City Manager. This is the plat associated with the Hidden Heroes project. It has been through the appropriate channels and complies with all of our local ordinances and other requirements. It has been approved by the Planning and Zoning Board and is now before you for final approval so that we may proceed with the project once other issues are addressed. We recommend approval of the plat this evening.
And we're getting a new street.
Correct. Down the center of where the townhomes exist. Correct.
So will their addresses be Arizona or will their addresses be Lantana?
Their addresses would be Lantana. Correct.
So are they going to be facing?
That is the name currently. there is opportunity to change that in the future.
No,
should
I'm
we
just
care
I'm
to.
just curious.
It was presented to us in that way by the engineer, so I'm not sure who made the final decision, sir.
So are the townhomes facing Lantana?
Yes.
So along the service road, that will be the back of them with the fence?
Correct.
Any other questions?
Landon, did you work on this?
Yes, sir.
Do you have anything to add, or?
It's good by my professional opinion.
We did work extensively with the team to assure that it complied with not only all of our ordinances and requirements, but we also did an additional review with the chief, the fire chief, and the fire marshal. We made sure that there was appropriate clearances in the front and the rear to access in the event of an emergency and or fire. So there was some work done, and we were very pleased and can recommend support very confidently.
Anything else?
Any questions, Dawn? Okay. I'll make a motion that we approve the replat request as presented by Ms. Farini.
No, second.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilwoman Trujillo, a second from Councilman Arona, to approve the replat request as presented. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries. We will go to item F5, discuss, consider of authorizing the city manager to transfer a warranty deed conveying approximately 1,353.71 surface acres, 1,353.12 grid acres out of sections 17, 18, and 19, Block 5, in Section 76, Block 4, H&G Railroad Company Survey, Reeves County, Texas, from the town of Pecos City to the Pecos 4B Economic Development Corporation, and authorizing the mayor to execute all necessary documents. Strategic Goal 1, Sustainable Economic Development, Charles Lino.
Mayor and Council, Charles Lino, City Manager. This is a partner agreement to the one that you all approved a few weeks ago related to the transfer of the land to the EDC. This is just formalizing the deeds so that the development that is anticipated to be planned out there, and this turns everything, puts it in the EDC's hands to do that. There is an agreement that will follow this that we will bring back to Mayor and Council probably sometime in July. It will be at one of the meetings in July that's going to talk about the financial compensation that will come into play, the tentative numbers that we had. This relates to the quote-unquote former West Pecos development land that we had through the West Pecos Management District. The amount that the city has invested in this land is just over $6 million, and the way the financial recoupment is being planned, that we should be able to bring back to you. We will see $40 million for that land come back to the city over a period of 10 to 20 years is what the plan is right now. So in order to move this project forward, we have to get the deeds taken care of, and they have been reviewed by our legal counsel.
So what exactly are they going to do with this land again? Refresh my memory.
It's something that will be brought to you all in detail, Councilman Graham, and there will be some discussion tonight in executive session that will give you a general idea of what the plan is right now.
Okay. Discuss it now and let some of the people or some of our taxpayers know.
At this point in time, the answer is no until we go through executive session to talk to you all. It will be development. There could be, there in all likelihood will be additional power plants that have been discussed before. There in all likelihood will be some housing that's going to be out there, Councilman Graham, and there could be other developments that are out there that, from listening to council, or legal counsel, they say we should talk to you on executive before we bring it out back out. If council so deems it to bring it back out after that, you have that option.
So we agreed to this in December, November last year. That's when this first came into.
With the transition of it, and this is just
Yes.
putting the deeds together so that we can, so that the EDC has the legal authority to enter into these agreements, of which the city is a party to.
Okay.
And again, there's probably gonna be some NDAs attached to this.
Well, I don't know that there will be. There is a possibility that could be though. And that's why I want to share what I know. You're going to hear some information tonight in executive that it'll give you a little more clearance or guidance on that you all can share as long as we're given the guidance that we can do that. We do have an item on there under economic development in executive session, and you'll get more clarity when we go through that this evening.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get something out of that, all that acreage that was bought through when they wanted to develop Pecos over there, West Pecos. Good to know that we can recoup our money and possibly more than what it started, because they never did develop to nothing.
Yeah, we will get a very good return on our investment off of that.
Any other questions? Mayor, make a motion we approve F5 as presented by our city managers, Charles Lino.
I'll second.
I have a motion from Councilman Arona, a second from Councilman Saldana, to approve the warranty deed transfer as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries. Okay, at this time, we're going to go into executive session under Government Code 551.071, consultation with attorney, 551.072, real estate, 551.074, personnel issues, and 551.087, economic development. And it is 6:18 p.m. 7:31 p.m. Is there anything from executive session that needs to be brought out in open session?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we approve a non-binding expression of intent from Maverick North America Company regarding a proposed economic development project within the town of Pecos City, Texas, known as the project. After our attorneys review, both parties' attorneys review the language and the proposals.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion from Councilman Arona, a second from Councilwoman Trujillo to approve an LOI pending legal advice
Yes, ma'am.
as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show the motion carries. Anything else from executive session? That's it? Okay. Go to item I, discuss items for the next city council agenda.
Charles, update on veterans and Normandy? You know how they did the water line? It's pretty bad after the rains, and how quickly can we patch? I know they patched already Stafford all the way to Eddie, but.
We'll have it, and it should be complete before we come back.
Okay.
What about the, that road on Daggett that right now is,
Michael is addressing it, and he's working on it right now. So
Okay,
in fact,
okay.
he's in communication with one of the people who've been bringing the item to our attention. So he's been in communications.
Also, favorite topic, I think all of us, fire hydrants.
So what I might
The black
suggest,
ones.
The black ones.
what I might suggest to the council, with Mr. Reno's permission, is that we have been planning a state of the infrastructure update. There's been a few items that have superseded that particular update in recent weeks, but we would like to bring back, it would include streets, water, utilities, et cetera, as landfill, et cetera, wastewater. As an update, it would probably be not until the end of July, but what we could provide in writing is an update on some of the specific projects prior to that. But then we could give you a comprehensive update and a future plan for upgrades to that infrastructure.
Okay. And lastly, the curves around the park here by the museum, we need a handicap ramp off of Oak Street. And those need to be replaced if they belong to, I'd like to see a plan and a time frame, estimated time of completion.
We'll put it together.
I'd like to see a date on the police plan in
No.
progress.
Yes. Another mention of it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have a lengthy meeting, we have nobody but Glenn by ourselves.
Gotcha. Anything else? Okay, then we adjourn, and it is 7:34 p.m.